Hi guys, welcome to my review of the Lego Movie, which I finally saw. I wanted to see this for a long time. I wanted to go with my friend, with you, and it went without me, annoyingly enough. Yeah, but we bought it, and I watched it, and it's good. It does live up to the hype. I mean, it didn't shock me. Well, I mean, it kind of did, but at the end. But I'll talk about the ending later, because that's a part that I can't really talk about without giving spoilers. So I'm making this, the first part is gonna be non-spoiler. It's funny. There's all sorts of funny moments. There's one, I'll tell you one funny moment, and don't worry, it's not the funniest moment. There are like so many funny moments. You won't mind. He's, you know what? Actually, I'm not gonna talk about it. I'm just gonna. It's funny. It's the story. At first, it seems kind of bland, like during the opening, and like pretty much until they start like wandering around these other places and like meet Morgan Freeman's character and go to the legendary builder place and like form their like little team and meet Batman. They meet Batman, who, by the way, is a total like jerk in this movie. Batman in the Lego Movie is basically that stereotypical tough guy jock boyfriend that's dating the love interest of the main character. That's set up to be like a bad guy for her or something. You know, you've seen it before, I'm sure. Which I thought was funny. He's like narcissistic Batman. I'm Batman. It was funny. It's pretty much exactly what everybody else has been saying about it. It's funny, it's clever, and it's really good. Now I have to talk about the ending, so click away if you don't want spoilers, because you do not want this to be spoiled for you, because this is a really good twist halfway through the story. So partway through the story, Emmett sacrifices Emmett, the main character. Click away now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, if we haven't clicked away, too bad. I'm gonna keep going. Emmett, the main character, he sacrifices himself to free the master builders or whatever, so they can save the city. And it's really cool because he ends up he falls through the warp hole, which supposedly leads to your death, but it actually it leads him to the real world, where there's the entire Lego world is actually this playset, this elaborate playset that this kid was playing with, and then his dad comes downstairs, and his dad is played by Will Ferrell, who also voices the villain of the movie President Business, and so Will Ferrell comes down and is all like, "You can't play with these. They're mine, and I set them up a certain way." And it's ridiculous. Even that's even a serious moment, and even that is funny because he says stuff like, "This is my Lego set, and I built." He says this stuff that basically sounds like a child just not wanting to share his Legos, but he says it with the seriousness of a stern father, and it's just funny. And then he goes and gets glue, which is what President Business is trying to use to control everything by freezing people in place with glue, and it becomes clear that President Business is the villain of the story that is based on the boy's dad, because the boy is controlling the story. And so then this is kind of a weird part, but then Emmett manages to escape the clutches of President Will Ferrell dad person, and he manages to get himself back into the world, and back into the Lego world, and help everybody. And then at his final moment, so he saves everybody, and there's this really heartwarming scene at the end that actually, okay, so spoilers, the villain turns into a good guy at the end, which is almost never a good thing. I've never seen a movie where the villain has turned good at the end, and I haven't gone, "Ugh, really?" But this one actually did it right, because so Emmett confronts the villain, and Emmett doesn't have any weapons or anything, the villain, President Business has the craggle, as he calls it, which is really just glue. There's this whole funny gag of him like taking like actual objects like from real life that he just finds lying around, which is the first hint of the fact that there's a real world universe, and like collecting them, giving them stupid names, like he has the cloak of Ben Daid, which is really just a giant band-aid, which is just hilarious. Ben Daid. It's too funny. And so he's got the craggle, and he who's there? Isaiah, go away. I'm making something right now. Okay, little brother. Okay. And then they cut back and forth between the boy talking to his dad and Emmett talking to President Business, as Emmett is trying to convince President Business to turn good. And it's just this really heartwarming scene where they go like back to the dad, and he's looking at all the stuff that the boys like made, the story that the boys made. He's like, "Did you build all this?" And he's like, "Yeah." And he's like, and the kid's like, "The heroes are trying to stop President Business from using the crackle to ruin the world." And the dad's like, "So President Business is the bad guy." He like picks up the President Business figure and he goes, "So President Business is the bad guy." And the kid's all like. The kid's all like, "Yeah," and the dad, and basically, and the dad's like, if Emmett the construction worker were to say something to President Business, what would he say? And the boy starts talking, and then it cuts back to Emmett saying all this stuff to President Business. And the reason the bad guy turns good at the end thing isn't annoying is because President Business is just a character created from it's an over-exaggerated character created from the kid's like annoyance with his dad, and the fact that the dad like apologizes to him, it makes President Business a much more relatable character, thereby making it not annoying when he turns good at the end. Which any movie that can make an ending in which the villain turns good not suck is a good movie. So I'd give this movie like a 9.5 out of 10. Like, it's really good. 9 out of 10. Would watch again. Plus, there's all these little funny moments, too, which, I don't know, it's really good. I'd recommend you watch it if you haven't seen it already. I'm the oldest of 4, and it kind of sucks because I miss out on a lot of the good movies that, like, are more adult, because it's like, oh, your little brothers can't watch that, because, like, oh, I mean, some of them are on Netflix, so I watch them there, but it's like, Netflix has a bad movie selection, so I can't really get the movie watcher, but the other side of that is if it's a kids movie that seems really good that I actually want to see, like the Lego movie or like something from Pixar, I'm pretty much guaranteed that I'm going to watch it eventually. That's why I wasn't really too concerned when my friend said that he'd gone to see the Lego movie without me, because I knew that I'd get to watch it at some point because we'd like rent it or buy it or something for the kids. It's kind of the same way that I end up playing those Skylanders games that I've had on my channel before. Like, I don't actually ask for them. Like, I was the one who asked for the first one originally, but now since my little brother is into it, I don't even have to ask for it, because I know she's going to get it for him, and then I can play it. So, yeah. But, anyway, Lego movie, great. I highly recommend you see it if you haven't already. Believe the hype. It really is as good as everyone says it is. That is all. Goodbye, arrivederci.